Okay, guys, sorry about that. Don't know what happened. I was jibber jabbering around talking, and I ran out of time. Anyways, I just wanted to make a really quick point. What I was trying to tell you was that this is a paper earring that I did, and it looks really cute. One thing that I don't like is that I can see the pin in there. Can you guys see that little pin? So that's something I didn't like about the cardboard. This is the paper earrings. They're made out of cardstock, and this is how thin they come out. And this is the difference between the two. And the cardboard earrings can be made into any shape as well. It doesn't have to be a circle, that's just the size I chose, but look at the difference. And these do look like they're made out of wood, and they're pretty hard. And they're probably the same. No, I don't know if they're the same weight as the little piece of wood, but I don't know. Anyways, another thing I forgot to mention is you also need two little pieces of paper to cover the, you know, whatever you want to cover it with. And I always paint the back, but you can totally do another piece of this in the back just so it could be the same on both sides, but I just like to save paper and paint the back. Anyways, continuing on, so you burnished your last piece. I just burnished it really good, the same that we did on the first one. Okay, and you let that dry completely. I like putting it under something heavy just so that it stays nice and flat. They usually stay flat anyways because the cardboard is so thick, but I just like to make sure. So after you do that, you just want to grab two more. You're going to do the same thing again. And you're going to do it to this side. You're going to do it again. You're going to turn it around and you're going to do the same thing over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this one with my pencil so that I know that it's this one, the one that I did. Because if not, I will forget. So I'm going to put some glue on there. You don't need that much glue, but I just like to make sure that I have enough. I always wet my brush and then I take out the water, dry it up a little bit, just so it's not real hard, it's soft and it moves around. This is a really easy project to do, and it's great for any gifts. You can do a whole bunch of these as gifts, and they would have cost you maybe just, you probably have like all the things except for maybe just like the earring hooks and the little pins. For the paper, you can use any type of craft paper, tissue paper, wrapping paper. I used a napkin on one of them, and so yeah, you can use anything really. Okay, so you got that, and then you're gonna put your little piece on top. Just kind of squish it. I hadn't made videos in such a long time, it seemed like, so I thought, why not share my little cardboard earrings? Burnish it really good. Try to get all that glue off. And as you can see, I don't have all the tools. I don't have a bone folder. Usually people do this with a bone folder. I just grab whatever I have available. And I use it. This glue is the one I'm using. It's a tacky glue, and I just happen to have it. So that's what I'm using. It would probably work with school glue if that's all you have. Try it out. You know, these don't have to be earrings. You could just leave it like this, put the paper on top, and it could be a pendant for a necklace. You know? Oh wait, it's the other side. See, I forget. So that's something I do recommend you do, is just mark your cardboard there. You can use any cardboard from your cereal boxes, from soda. I'm using this cardboard boxes from beer. I just save all my cardboard, and there you go. And then do the same thing to the other side. Excuse me. This glue is, it's so tacky that it's hard to come out. There we go. I moved the camera just a little bit there. Camera. Gosh, it's giving me trouble. There we go. So make sure it's color side down. Oops. Almost forgot. Whenever you're using glue for anything, I've noticed that it's better to use a brush to spread it around rather than just to, even on paper, I use this now. I use my brush and I spread it around with my brush instead of just folding the paper and spreading it with my finger. Just, you know, the glue's gonna be where you put it, and sometimes when you just fold a piece of paper, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, like you put a piece of glue here and hope that it stays there. Sometimes you miss that little edge here, so that's why I use my brush whenever I use my glue now. Just cleaning my brush really good, guys, because I use this brush a lot for glue, so just want to make sure it's clean. Press it down really good. And when you press it down, that glue that's left over, just rub on it with your fingers. Just be careful. Don't get a paper cut or whatever. I don't know if you can. Maybe if you have really sharp scissors and you cut it really good, you don't want to get a paper cut. Okay, so that's pretty much your first earring right there. Right here, you're almost getting ready to decorate it. Just the more you burnish it, the better it comes out, because you want it to be really tight on those other cardboards pieces, so you don't want to have any bubbles or any little excess glue in there. There you go. Just rub the edges. Let this dry completely. Once it is dry, where's my other piece? Hold on a second, guys. I can't remember where I put my other little circle that I was working with. What did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. Okay, once it's dry, this is one that it's the same one. I haven't put the other two sides. But once you put this under something, right, and you leave it to dry for, I don't know, however long you need it to dry. Once it's completely dry, you're going to go with your nail file or whatever file that you have. You can use wood file. And you're just going to go in one direction and go like this. And you're going to file it down so that the sides are all even. And you're going to keep doing that. And then go the opposite way just to get rid of that little excess there. Okay, and you're going to go all around like this. It shouldn't take long because you're cutting the circles. They're all the same size, so it shouldn't take very much if you cut right. You just want to make sure that's a really nice even circle. As even as you can possibly get it, and then we're gonna paint this edge, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna skip that step just because I want to show you guys. I want to finish it off with you guys, but to do this, let this dry, and then just go around the edges with the file. Then for our last little, to finish it off, we're gonna put the whatever craft paper you chose. So for this one, yeah, I'm gonna use this one. Just a little bit of glue there because it's regular paper. Just go around. If you don't if you don't file down the edges, it'll look okay, but or like sometimes I don't need to file it down just because I cut the pieces so the circle's really good, and I don't really need to do that. And once you hit the paint, it really doesn't matter, you can't tell. Cleaning my brush and then go ahead and, oops, that's okay. Where the pin is, you just want to make sure your picture is right side up, or if you want it crooked, if you want to do a slant, that's fine too. Okay, there we go, and then just burnish that. Okay, and then with whatever excess glue you have left over, or if you don't have any, you could just put a little bit on there. And you're gonna push the edge in like this. Grab a little bit of glue and just put it on there like that, and then just rub it in. Don't worry about that little edge, we're gonna paint it either with nail polish or acrylic glue. And that's it. We're ready for the back. Flip it over, do the same thing. So this is a really easy project, guys. Even if it takes a little while, you're getting a great little art piece of jewelry, or a great little gift. A one-of-a-kind piece. Cleaning my brush, and then just put this little piece there. And do the same thing. Okay. So that part is done, and then we're done with this glue. Oops, did I forget to clean my brush? I can't remember. Then with our school glue, you're gonna let this dry, of course. Make sure it's dry. You're gonna make sure it dries clear, and you're just gonna, oops, I might have put a little bit too much, it's okay. You're just gonna cover your little artwork with this, with your school glue. Nice, even coat of the glue just to protect it. You might need one, you might need 2 coats. It all depends on the glue that you're using. And you're gonna let that completely dry. Oops, where's my water? You're gonna do that on both sides. You're gonna do that on both sides to protect both sides of the earring. So you're gonna do that, let that dry, do the other side. While that's drying, let me show you how I'm gonna do my edge there. I have a little brush here, and this is a nail polish I'm gonna be using. Put a little dot there, and then just go around with that. All the way around. If you need to do 2 coats, do 2 coats, however many you want. Okay? And then, so you get the idea. Let me put this to dry over here. Once you're completely done with that, and your piece will look like something like this. This is already drying. I painted this with acrylic paint instead of nail polish. You're gonna grab your Decoplosh Podge gloss sealer or whatever sealer you may have. Drop some in a little cup. With the same brush, you're just gonna grab some, just a little bit, and you're just gonna seal it with this right over it. And you could do 1 or 2 coats, however many you want, and it'll leave it nice and shiny. Then go all around the edges with the same one, and on the back side, and that's it. You're pretty much done. You let that dry, then all that is left is for you to put your little earring hook on there. So you're just gonna open this up. Put your earring in there, and then close it. Hope you guys were able to see that. And that's it. You have your little earring. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful and not too confusing.